Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Scott. I'll be your host today. Got a solo podcast for you today. It's just me. We're gonna go over the Phoenix Marathon upcoming. It is this Saturday. I'm heading out tomorrow. Today is Wednesday. Heading out Thursday morning to Phoenix. As long as the flight takes off and everything's good to go. Got a little ice coming in, a little rainstorm, freezing rain, that kind of stuff. But, I'll probably close the schools, but, I'm going to Phoenix, so I'll be out there. This episode is brought to you by Greasy Girl Headbands. That's Greeecie, girlheadbands.com. Check them out if you get a chance. Mary Countryman over at Greasy Girl. She is always very supportive of this podcast and all the things we do. And, just want to shout out to her and, help small businesses out, man. She does a great job over there. You're going to find a lot of fitness apparel, a lot of good stuff. Stephanie got a running shirt for Christmas. She absolutely loves it. She wears it all the time. Not all the time. That'd be gross, but a lot of the times she wears it. So check her out if you get a chance. GreasyGirlHeadbands.com. As always, you can find this and the back episodes of our podcast at our website. It's called OrdinaryMarathoner.com. Check it out if you get a chance. You can also find them at the aggregators, places like Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, of course. If you like the show, hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss a new episode that way. You can also leave us a review if you like. I don't know how many stars. I forget how many stars. Is it 5 stars or 4 stars? Whatever the most stars is, if you like the show, hook us up. We love reading your reviews. We love seeing them out there. It helps the show too. We got our YouTube channel up and running. All of these long form podcasts are going up on YouTube. I haven't been putting the daily ones up. I don't want to, I just don't want the whole YouTube channel to be about daily podcasts. So I'm kind of leaving those out for now. If you guys want to see them in the future, let me know and I will post those too. But for now, it is just sort of these long form podcasts that we're doing that I'm posting on YouTube. So check that out if you get a chance. We got Stephanie's Couch to 5K program. She's doing awesome. She's doing absolutely awesome. She's although she missed her run this morning, a little disappointed. So she's gonna have to make that up this evening while I'm packing. And she'll do it though. She'll do it. It's gonna be kind of a weird. I think this week will be a weird sort of week because I'm not around to film her every time. So I don't know how she's going to do it, but she better do it. That's her job. That's her job as Mrs. Ordinary. We'll see. We'll see how she does. Our Facebook group, Ordinary Marathoners, go over there and check it out. It is a closed group, so you got to add yourself to it. We'll put you through right away, though. I got to say, I had like 4 or 5 people join last week. I mentioned this on the daily, I think, that we had 4 or 5 people join right away, and nobody knew who they were. They weren't friends of I tried to check people out just sort of on a cursory, long distance angle, wide lens. I generally let anyone come in and come through. I think they were from India, and right away, they waited a day, and then they started spamming the hell out of the page. So I kicked them all out. And today, I got 2 more people from India, and it's like, they're not friends with anyone in the group, so it's like, I don't want to over-scrutinize people. I just want to let people in. So if you're going to spam my page, I wish you a horrible, horrible death. Just leave me alone. All right, maybe not death. Death goes a little far, but maybe like a hangnail. How about that? I don't even want to do it. I don't even want an injury. Maybe a twisted ankle or a hangnail. I'll go with hangnail, but a real bad hangnail. I hope you get that. Just leave our page alone. And I hate hitting the disapprove button. I like to approve. I like approve. We've had that page up about 2 years, and I don't think I've ever really had to not let someone go through, and it's discouraging. But a great group of people over there, nonetheless, except for these spammers, with their hangnails. But it's a really supportive group. Add yourself to it. We'll put you right through. You could join the conversation if you like. If you're one of those people that you don't like, jumping in with new people and talking to people, that's cool. You can just be a lurker. That's fine too. We got lots of people do that as well. My Twitter account over at Ord Marathoner. That's ORD Marathoner. Follow me there. I'll follow you back. Get the conversation going on over there as well. Got a lot of things going on. But for now, I am heading to Phoenix, which means, I see a lot of YouTubers, a lot of podcasters, they like grab all their crap and they go through the airports. I don't do that. And I'm sorry, I don't do that. I can't. I'm not in that frame of mind yet where I can just fold up the laptop, grab a camera and a microphone and all my equipment, my recorder, and just take them on the road. It's probably not even that big of a deal. I'm going to run a race, and that's what I need to do. And I don't need to give myself any other pressure or anything like that. And running a race with a camera, God bless you guys that do it. I'm out there to perform. I'm out there to do my very best. And for me, I feel like, I do sometimes bring my phone. I'll put it in my sleeve when I run, but, I do it for if I need to make a phone call or things like that. I think it takes away too much of my running if I have to, grab the phone and start broadcasting from there. Not that I might not do it in the future at some point. I just see a lot of people doing it. I also feel weird doing it. And sometimes I don't know why other people don't feel weird. Like, I see people doing it. I'm like, yeah. Not weird. Look at that self-centered. I don't want to be that self-centered guy with the selfie cam out on the marathon route, So I don't know. I just want to backtrack a little bit. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I signed up for the Phoenix Marathon last year. My intent was to run the full. I had, I came off of Ironman Lake Placid in July, and then I did Ironman Maryland in, I think it was October. Maybe November, October. I think it was October, first week of October. I did New York City Marathon, but I did that one and a run walk, and I really didn't feel good, and I was on the path to gaining weight. I didn't have a good holiday season in terms of training. I did not feel like I could really run a marathon. I didn't feel up to it. We were just starting having issues with Stephanie had kidney stones and all this stuff, and I just was like, I want to kind of go back down to the half. So I was able to do that. I was able to kind of finagle and beg and especially knowing some people that knew the people that were in charge helped me out, and they got me into the half instead. And really, if you look me up, I'm not even in the results, so I don't know where the hell I am, but I don't really care. I just was kind of running it with friends. So, but when I left, we ran it with a bunch of people. We had fun. It was very social. It was a social run, a social half marathon. And it was more painful than I thought it was going to be last year. And I remember kind of coming home and being like, it was two things really. It was a combination of two things. It was one, I felt like I owed this race something. Like I owed it a little bit more effort. And I owed it to myself to get back into that marathon shape. And this would potentially do that for me, help me out. And number two, I've just totally forgot what number two was. So no, it was a little bit of redemption, and it was a little bit of, I kind of wanted, I knew it was like a BQ race. I knew it was a race where people go for speed and to try to qualify for Boston because it's largely a downhill race. And I thought, you know what? This is a good one for me to do. It's a good one for me to bolster my confidence next year. So I signed up for it right away, and I got a hotel room like right near the finish. Very happy about it. And I kind of had a little bit of redemption on my mind. Now, fast forward to last July when I DNF'd Lake Placid and then signed up for that again. Now, once that happened, redemption in Phoenix is not really a focus of mine, and it hasn't been for the last few weeks. It's sort of just, I got to run Phoenix. I'm sure I'll go out there. I'm sure I'll meet some people. It'll be fun. It's a good race for me to just kind of engage where I am, especially coming off of Hartford, where I set a PR 4:59 something. So I thought it was a good race to do, and it is a good race. I've kind of wavered back and forth the last few days, and I kind of, I'm psyched for it. I'm doing it. I'm going in full force. And, look, the training hasn't been perfect. I haven't really done any long runs beyond 14 miles. That's my fault. That's my bad. I know I'm not, but I was kind of the same way when I went into Hartford too. And I think that the way to kind of combat that sort of unknowingness and is just to have a good race plan to attack that and to use that weakness, knowing that I don't know that I can get to that starting line and run the entire way, start to finish 26.2. I actually don't think I can. Now, who knows? Maybe I can. Who knows? So, we're going to kind of set this race plan. We're going to set it with a lot of options. We're going to have options here. There's going to be different goals. There's going to be different things I can do at different times. But I mean, for now, it's Wednesday afternoon. I got to start packing tonight. Sam comes home from school, and then she's going to help me pack. I got to make sure I got all my stuff done. I got, I got the toenails cut. I got the Band-Aid nipples ready to go. The nipple Band-Aids. Band-Aid nipples that doesn't sound right. But anyway, it's all ready to go. Got the chafing cream ready to go. I'm in good shape here. I'm prepared. And had to load all this stuff up. So we're going to do this from two ways. Now, let's just start with the nutrition. I didn't want to really cover this too much, I guess. And I guess I did in a little bit in the Ordinary Daily, but not totally. So nutrition wise, I typically go to marathons lately. The last few marathons I've done, goo gels. Usually I put about 6 of them in my pocket. Base salt is another one. I do one. So I think once I did 2 little containers of base salt just in case I lost one, because they're little vials. So in case I lost one, I would have to get another one. Because I think they're kind of easy to lose, but I didn't lose it. It's just another thing I carry, I guess, which is annoying because you don't want to carry extra weight. You don't want to carry too much. I also usually carry like 2 Advil. Just in case I start feeling cramps or pain. I just want to, I'm old, guys. I'm 44. I'm old. I need the pain medication. And that's pretty much what I carry. But those are just in case. What else I carry too is, you gotta carry some wipes. You gotta carry those, the baby wipes. Just in case. Still, this still holds. I'd rather DNF than SMP. And, look, if nature calls, it calls, and you don't want to be unprepared. You don't want to come out of the porta potty with no socks, if you know what I mean. You don't want to do that. That's vicious. So yeah, that's typically what I carry in my pockets. The thing is I haven't been training with goo gels. Now I used to train and do my long runs with goo gels all the time. And so it was easy. I was used to it. And there's a whole thing, don't do anything new on marathon day. Well, or on race day. And it's not necessarily new because I've used the goo gels in the past and I know I can deal with it and I know it's fine. It is, it's that I've been training a lot lately with Gatorade Endurance. And Gatorade Endurance is, it's like a drink mix. They don't sell it out of bottles, but that's what they hand out at Ironman. So I started thinking maybe I just don't, next year for Ironman, I don't want to have to worry about nutrition. Maybe I'll bring a bar, throw it in my bag here and there. So I have something just to eat because it's a full day, right? It's 7:00 in the morning to midnight. So it's a full day and I probably will get hungry. So I'll put some food in the bags, but I don't want to have to carry stuff around with me. I just want to use the Gatorade on the course. So I've been using that and really it's been working wonders. It's got sodium electrolytes, so I don't even need the base salt. And I haven't been using food. I've been doing 3-hour bike rides, 2.5-hour bike rides, 2.5 to 3 hour runs with it and, never needed the food. I don't need any addition. I'm good. I'm good with the Gatorade. Now, my assumption was that they just had regular Gatorade on this route. I don't really pay attention to what kind of Gatorade that they have, but I was actually watching a video on YouTube of the race, a recap from last year, and they showed a water stop, and there was a sign that said Gatorade Endurance, and I'm thinking, man, maybe they have it. And, of course, I bought a whole bunch of goo gels the other day, but I'm glad I have them, just in case. But I do have to check out the website to see if they have Gatorade Endurance at this race, because if they do, man, I don't have to bring the gels. I would rather not bring the gels if I don't have to. It's just, again, added weight. Even though it's little and light, it doesn't matter. It's just added annoyance and things I have to bring. So I'm going to check that out. And if I don't have to bring, I might bring one just in case, and I'll definitely bring the Advil, and I probably will bring the base salt. But that's it. So my pockets are going to be a lot emptier. I'll have my Garmin watch. I'll be I'll be ready. I've been focusing on the diet the last few days. I'm trying to kind of zone it in and make sure that I have enough carbs. Gonna be adding some oatmeal. I mean, I've been doing the Whole30, and the Whole30 has some weaknesses when it comes to carbs. They're just, there's no pasta, no bread, none of that stuff, and I haven't been eating it. So I'm trying to add some carbs back in, some oatmeal. I will probably eat pasta the night before. That's kind of been my ritual. Eat pasta the night before, but nothing like too spicy, nothing with too much sauce or garlic. Typically, I just have oil. I probably wouldn't even want butter at this point because I haven't had dairy in a month. So as like just plain pasta, I'll do some Parmesan cheese. It's dry. It's not going to hurt my stomach. The point is, what I want to do is I want to wake up the next day and I just want to know that anything that's in my stomach, there's nothing there that's too out of the ordinary, that's too, questionable as to what it might do to me the next day. After 15, you hit 15 miles, man. There's no, there's no laxative, kind of like a long run, But besides the point, that's the nutrition plan. That's the nutrition plan, and I'm good with that. It seems pretty open, pretty, all I got to do is find out if they have Gatorade Endurance. If they do, cha-ching, wonderful, bonus. If they don't, I just got to bring the goo gels with me. That's it. So I'll be packed. I'll be ready to go. Got the nutrition. Now let's talk about the race. All right. So I ran the half last year, and I say ran. It was just kind of a social event, and we just kind of enjoyed it. The second half. So basically, the way they have the race set up is it's a point to point race. The whole marathon is a point to point, and the marathon will, it's one straight trek. So once you run 13.1 miles of the marathon, you hit the start of the half marathon. Got it? Good. So I've run the back half of this marathon before. Course-wise, no real complaints, no real comments, and no real, I don't know, there's nothing that's going to trip me up on the back end of this course. Maybe temperature, if it gets too hot. If I take too long, it'll get too hot. But other than that, I think there's, it's a very slight downhill run on the back end of this marathon for the last half. The front half is where it's brand new to me. It's brand new to me. Now I remember having Mike Taruso on the podcast from last year, when he BQ'd the full marathon at Phoenix. So I remember talking to him about this course. I remember talking to Ray Magana about the course and a couple people that did the full last year. I know a few things to look out for. I know that in the beginning of the race last year, for some reason, there were like cones and poles and stuff in the road that people had to avoid. So I know when I start this race, and I'm assuming they're going to take care of that. I would love for them, I'll probably ask people beforehand. But it's something I'll be on the lookout for. Cause the last thing you want is to start the marathon, you're, a quarter mile in and you trip over a pole and break your ankle and you're out. That's the last thing you need. But the way the course is laid out, it is you go up a mountain. The mountain is at the top. The start of the race is at the top of the mountain. The first 3 or 4 miles, you're going downhill. From right around mile 4, there's a section of the race about 1.5 miles that goes uphill. Now I watched the video of the race. That's how I saw the Gatorade Endurance thing. I watched the video of the race, and it's very hard to get a good perspective of how steep the uphill is. But it honestly didn't look that steep. I almost kind of liken it to the Verrazano Bridge in New York, where it's subtly steep, and you kind of don't even really get there. And it's since in the beginning of the race, it doesn't really affect you too much. Now, it may take its toll later on. And I know when I did Hartford, look, if you guys remember last year when I did Hartford, there was a hill at mile 2 or 3, and I purposely walked up it. And I purposely walked up it because I didn't want it to affect me later down the line and not know, you overexert on a hill at mile 2. You never know how much that's going to take out of you at mile 14. I didn't want that in Hartford. I can't walk up a hill that's 1.5 miles long. That will take me 30 minutes. That will kill my time. I can't do that. So, the plan is just run through it. Just run through it. Now, the first time I ever ran a half marathon, I stumbled badly. Not stumbled, but it beat the hell out of me. And I remember I consoled with Ramon Burmo, the head coach at Determination, and he told me that the strategy for the first half marathon, his strategy is always break it up into 3 parts. The first third, run at a very slow pace. And by very slow, he means, a pace where you feel at the time that you could run all day. At the time you start this pace, you could run that pace morning till night and not even worry about it. And then dial it back from there. Dial it back even a little bit further. And when I used his advice, it worked. It worked. And I used that pace. And now I kind of been using that sort of terminology, phrase, I don't know, approach, I guess. I've been using that approach often and with a lot of success. The other approach that I've been using is later on in the race, going into a walk-run interval, Galloway method type thing. And that's been working well too. So the plan is this. The plan is to go, and now I'll be going downhill. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to exert energy pulling myself back. Because sometimes when I go downhill, if I go too slow, I almost feel like I'm exerting extra energy to hold back. And I don't want to do that. But I don't want to run too fast either. So it's kind of like this delicate balance that you have to find where you're allowing the hill to pull you. You're definitely not trying to land full force on your feet. Like you're not sprinting. You gotta, because the force the extra force that's exerted on your knees, on your feet, when you're running down a hill is like 2 times or 3 times the pound per square inch or whatever it is. I think it's 3 times than it is normally if you're running flat. That's also a nugget I got from Ramon. 3 times as much. So you got to be careful how much force you're putting down on your legs, or you're gonna kill yourself for the back end. So then I'm gonna hit this hill at mile 4, and I'm gonna just run it. And I'm gonna not look at the Garmin. Try not to look at. Let's try not to look at the Garmin. Do this thing by feel. Do it by feel. See how I'm doing. I'm sure I'm gonna look at the Garmin. All right, I know I'm gonna look at the Garmin. Look, if I have to walk, if it's really steep and I have to walk a section of it, I'm not going to be too upset about it, but that's not the plan. The plan is to run through it, get over the other end of that hill, and resume the downhill to the half marathon point. And then we'll see where we are. And we're going to that's where I'm going to take stock. That's where I'm going to take, that's where the commitment is made. All right. Cause what I have here is I honestly, I have this is very similar to Hartford, and I have no idea what the clock is going to say at any point in the race. I am just I'm not trained enough right now to know where I'm going to be. Right. So it's going to be we're going to have to get there on race day and see. Now I'm feeling positive about it. I have a good outlook, optimistic. There's a lot of optimism here, full of optimism. I am overloaded. Well, no, let's not go that far. So I'm going to have to try to be gauging how I feel all the way through that first half marathon, especially towards the end of that hill when it kind of levels out. And then I'm back in familiar territory, right? Because I've done this race before. And granted, I don't know how good my memory is anymore, but I'm sure some parts of it are going to be familiar. And I'm going to have to make up my mind. Where am I? What kind of pace am I doing? Now, if I run a 2:15 half marathon or a 2:10 or 2:15, which is possible down this hill, I think. I mean, my PR for a half is 2 hours, 0 minutes, 52 seconds. So slightly above 2. I don't want to say 2. People get angry. You never ran a 2-hour half marathon. You're right. I didn't. I ran 2 hours, 0 minutes, 52 seconds. So if I'm close to that and I feel good, my God, I've been talking about 4.5. And I want to beat Oprah, and Oprah's time is like 4:29:17 or something like that. I don't know, something around there. I would love to beat that. Now, to be honest with myself, to be completely straight with my training, my weight is down, but it's not down as much as I thought it would be. I thought it'd be like 218, 219. I'm 221 this morning, something like that. I feel good. I've lost some weight lately. I feel good. Feel pretty happy with my training the last month. Again, no long runs, but I feel pretty happy with it. So I think I'm and especially with the course being the downhill, I think I'm a little bit better off going into this race than I was into Hartford. So looking at that 5-hour marathon that I ran, I feel like I can do better. How much better is a huge question. Huge question. So goal A, we're going to call it goal A plus because I don't think it's realistic. But on the outside chance that I finish that first half marathon very quickly and I feel good, 4.5 is what I'm going for. Yeah, give myself a 2 or 3% chance of that. 4.5. Goal, and then we'll call it goal A because that was goal A plus. That's goal A asterisk, with the asterisk being, holy shit, something's going right for a change. So goal A, though, I think a more realistic goal for me is 445 to 450, somewhere in that range. So let's say beat 450. That would be that's my A goal. That's what I would really like. That would show good progress over 4 or 5 months since Hartford. It would make me happy. If I finished under 450, it would make me happy. Goal B is to just get under 5 hours again. Stay under 5 hours, right? And I hate to say goal C because you're supposed to have 3. And goal C for me is always going to be just finish the race. I can't travel. I can't be on a plane 6 hours to Arizona, 6 hours home. I can't be away from my family for like 4 or 5 days. I can't not bring home a medal for Sam. I can't. So yes, goal C, I am not going to be happy running slower than 5 hours. I will not be happy. Goal C is, and this is the way we're treating this, is this becomes a training run and it's gut check for Ironman. Finish the race, get the medal, bring it home. You don't have to be happy about it if that's the case, but that's goal C. So, and again, I kind of glossed over the whole second half of the race, but, so basically when I hit that half marathon point, that's when I'm going to make the decision. Do I continue to run hard and, do I have that energy in me to go push for that 4.5, or do I start managing it and doing my walk run? And my walk run, now guys, this is the way I do it. And I think I've gone over this before, but we'll go over it again. We need a little refresher course. Now, some people will say intervals, they will look at their watch and they'll say, I run for 30 seconds and then I walk for 30 seconds, or run for a minute, walk for 10 seconds, whatever your intervals are. I do much better finding physical, mileposts, not mileposts, but objects, I guess. Things that are out on the course that I can find, a telephone pole, a mailbox, a driveway, a cross section, an intersection, cones in the street. Maybe there's cones, stuff like that. I do better with that. So what I do is I'll say, all right, I'm going to run 3 telephone poles and then I'm going to walk 1. And that's one of the other ways I'm going to try to get a little bit more out of this is I think I might go 4-1. Run 4 telephone poles, walk 1. And I'm going to try my best to maintain that intervals. Now what happens is my intervals, and really, I think one of the reasons this is good for me by finding, literal objects to run to is it keeps my brain busy and it keeps me always pushing forward and it keeps me not from looking at the watch constantly. Cause if you're going, if you're timing your thing, you're always looking at the watch. When's it going to stop? When do I have to stop? When you're looking at the road, when you're going to stop. You're going to stop at that pole and you can't stop beforehand. You know what I mean? You're giving yourself rules. You're doing it. You're in your own head. You're playing a game. And it works for me. It's for me. I've tried both methods and it works for me to use, landmarks in the street to try to run to or walk to for intervals. And so I think that when I started Hartford, my interval was run 3, walk 1. So a 3-to-1 ratio. And then that went down to like 2-1 and then it went 2-2. So the intervals are going to change. They're always going to change. So what I'm trying to do here is because in the long run, it all adds up, guys. In the long run, the more you run, the faster you're going to be. The less you walk, the faster you're going to be. So I'm going to try my best to just maintain those longer intervals once I go to the intervals. And I don't know when that's going to be. I'm going to have to, again, by feel. So run the half marathon, get down the hill. If I feel good, keep going. But once I start to sense that pace is coming off, instead of trudging through like a 14-minute mile, which I've done before out of pride because I didn't want to walk, instead of doing that, I'll go to the run walk interval, and I'll tell you, man, when I go to these run walk intervals, I'm putting up, for number one, the walk isn't a stroll. It's not a stroll. It's a purposeful walk. And I'm putting up 12 to 13 minute miles, and sometimes faster, depending on the intervals. So instead of crushing myself and painfully stumbling through 14-minute miles, I'm going to go to the run walk and put up 12 to 13-minute miles or whatever it is. And then we'll see where we are. We'll cross that finish line and we'll see what that number says. Hopefully it's under 5 hours, because anything under 5 hours, I will celebrate. And I'm looking forward to it. My friend's out there. My friend Harry is a high school friend of mine. Played baseball together, football together. I threw my very first touchdown pass to Harry. He lives out in Phoenix. I love getting together with him. We always have a blast. I love seeing his kids and telling them all about how their father was in high school. All the drinking we did. Well, we won't go that far. We didn't drink anyway. It's against the law. Come on. We weren't 21 in high school. It's against the law. Who does that? Lawbreakers. Criminals. Anyway, so listen, I'm super excited about this race. I'm super excited where I am right now. And even more excited, I'm more excited to come home, take sort of a nice, easy, light week, and then get back at it again. Cause I get bike workouts all over the place that I need to do. And I'm really enjoying my time on Zwift. I know this podcast is called Ordinary Marathoner, but I got to become a really good cyclist in the next 5 months after this race, guys. So you're going to hear a lot of it. I'm sorry, but I can't change the name of the podcast, and I can't change who I am on the inside. And it seems to be a cyclist these days. So, we're going to get through this race this weekend. We'll see how we do. Looking forward to coming back and reporting it to you. And, next week, just so you know, I'm going to be over this trip since I'm by myself. I'm going to be I'm going to be reading, a book by, Mike Swinger. It's called Runner's Fix. It's a guide to running pain free. He wrote this book. I don't even know when, but a friend of mine actually knew of the book. She's like, oh, yeah, I think we studied this. I think I knew this book. So I'm looking forward to reading it. I know it's not necessarily a story. It's kind of like it's a do-it-yourself guide to running pain free. So it's going to be, I'm sure, a little bit more technical and stuff. But, I'm looking forward to taking a peek at it and seeing what it's got in store for me. And then we're going to have Mike on the podcast next week. We already scheduled a time for him. Hopefully next Thursday we'll be able to chat with him and get that going too. I got another book to read after that. I'm running book crazy lately, and I'm going to be on the bike. So I'm going to be reading and sweating all over the pages. Yeah, I'm reading. Oh, by the way, sign up for the Ordinary Marathon, guys. Sign up for the Ordinary Marathon. If you register by Valentine's Day, you're going to be entered into a raffle to win a 3-month free coaching package from Laura Stebbins of Ascension Multisport. And if you haven't had a coach, let me tell you something. If you're one of those people that just kind of like running by yourself, training by yourself, you've always maybe wondered about getting a coach. Maybe it's too expensive. They're truly a luxury. It's truly a luxury to have a coach. This is the person you want coaching you. And I'm getting to give away 3 months free to one lucky winner when we pull the raffle on Valentine's Day. I know Laura's looking forward to it. I tell you what I'm really looking forward to is watching the person progress. Whoever wins, watching them progress with the coach and seeing how things go through. Super excited about that, but you got to be registered. So go to ordinarymarathon.com, $25 to race. It is a 10-day social running phenomenon. Phenomenon. Let's go with phenomenon. I don't know what the hell phenomena. I don't know. This is why I wasn't an English major, folks. Phenomenon. Yeah, whatever. It's going to be really cool. Let's just put it that way. It is, without a doubt, the greatest virtual race that is out there in the world. Let's call it it is a global event across the world. People are registering for this race. It is awesome. You're gonna have a great time, and we've solidified the 5K. So if you live in our area and we live in East Longmeadow, but in the town of next door, Longmeadow, go figure. It's one town west of here. If you didn't figure that out, Fleet Feet Longmeadow is helping us out. We're doing a 5K on Cinco de Mayo after and it's all part, guys. It's all part of the race. So if you register for the virtual race, you can come to the 5K. You can run if you don't live near here, you can run the 5K virtually and submit your time on Scott Frossard's website, Forever Home Running. It is going to be a great event, a great experience. So get registered. Get registered before Valentine's Day so you're entered into that raffle, because I'm telling you, the coaching is worth it. Totally worth it. I will be back next week with a recap of the Phoenix Marathon, and we'll also be back with Mike Swinger to review his book next week as well. So until then, always remember, when it comes to running, I'm no expert. I'm just ordinary.